I almost just died. Hey guys, it's Ashley, and today it's time for a review and ramble of Worlds of Ink and Shadow by Lena Coakley. This was the January Owl Crate book, and I am right on top of things. First month of the year, and I've read the book before the next box came. Yeah, I'm so good at singing. This book is something that I'm really glad I got, because if it hadn't come in the Owl Crate and I didn't have this goal of reading all of the books before the next one came, I don't think I would have ever picked this book up and read it, because from the description, it sounded interesting, but not like a book that I would buy. However, I really enjoyed this book a lot more than I thought I would based on the description. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. There were a couple issues, we'll get to those in a minute, but let's talk about what this book is about. So this book follows the Bronte siblings. You might be familiar with Charlotte and Emily Bronte. They are known for some literary works out there. They also had a sister Anne, who was an author, and a brother Branwell, who I guess was a writer, but became semi-known for his paintings. This book follows the 4 of them. It's a fictionalized account of what their life might have been like, and it's got a magical realism element to it. So basically, this is how it goes. Charlotte and Branwell make a deal when they're children to have the ability to enter the fictional worlds that they create. When they're children, they take their siblings along for a while, but then as they grow older, they stop that and they keep it very secretive. They're always writing and going into their stories and kind of pushing the other 2 sisters aside. For what reason, we don't know. We come to find out as the story progresses that there is actually a dark element going on to it. So as our story progresses, their story is also progressing and things are taking turns. Suddenly their characters aren't behaving the way they're telling them to, and things are happening outside of their control in their fictional world. So they're trying to fix things, trying to figure out what's going wrong and put things to rights, and then they end up kidnapped by their characters and not allowed to go home. This book was just really fun to see what it would be like if those fictionalized worlds that you write about actually came to life and you were inside of them. I thought it was a really creative concept, that these great writers were actually living their stories rather than just coming up with it out of their own heads. It was very, very interesting. I loved the characters. I thought the main characters were very well developed. I felt like we could get a little bit more from Emily. She just felt kind of two-dimensional, like she was missing a little something explained to us or a little something shown, but overall the characters were great, both the Brontes and the fictionalized characters. The way they talked about their 2 older siblings who had died was very interesting to me. I loved how that was brought together. Without giving away any spoilers, that's all I can tell you. I just found it all to be really interesting, really engrossing. The reason I got 4 stars and not 5 stars for me is because I just felt like we needed something a little bit more. You know, the magical portal and the whole thing with Old Tom I felt like wasn't explained well enough. I felt like we needed to know a little bit more about who Old Tom really was and why this whole thing existed. I just felt like that wasn't well explained. And also, once we were in the story, how come some characters were able to change the story on their own when other characters weren't? Why were they able to leave their story and go into the other realm when other characters weren't? So there were just some things that I would have liked a little bit more explanation on. But overall, very interesting book, very interesting concept, great characters. I really enjoyed this book. I'm trying not to give a whole lot away because I don't want to spoil it. I knew really nothing going into this book other than it was about the Brontes and stories come to life. And I think that's a great way to go into it. So if you've read this, please let me know what you think down below. If you've not read it, I would definitely recommend it. If you got it in your Owl Crate and haven't read it yet, I would go read it. I enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you soon.